But Phyllis did become one of those callers people know, just like Jim from Tuscaloosa. There's the regulars. For you, is there a regular that you maybe isn't your favorite, but you do enjoy when they call in and they give some insight to your show?
Well, I wrote a book last year, and on page 54 of the book, I know this because it's come up so often, Jim from Tuscaloosa, I wrote that if I had Barack Obama on one line, talking to him as an interview, and I saw that Jim was on the other line, I would hang up on the president. And what I meant by that is that he has been the most compelling caller. I've never met him, although we have had some private conversations. And, you know, we've had difficult times. He's left the show. He's come back. But I do like callers that move the audience. And he never calls in just to say, how are you? He calls in because he believes strongly and he is passionate about something, and that to me makes a great show.
Have you met any of your callers?
Yeah, no, I met a lot of them. Over the years, we used to have a luncheon and invited the callers to the luncheon, and you know, through various means, I've met many of them. And to me, the most unique part about the callers is the fact that because of Twitter, because of Facebook, and other means, the callers now communicate with each other. We had a guy named Johnny from Coleman, calls in, big Alabama fan. I walked in our room here earlier today, and there were 36 donuts. He had brought them up. I went down and found them. We brought them up, and he really enjoyed it. I mean, it's enabled. But you know, he's talking to Phyllis. Phyllis is talking to one, and I don't know. I mean, I'm not here to brag and boast, but I don't think there's another show in America that has callers having lunch and dinner with one another and Facebooking and tweeting. To me, it's unique.
And it was already a popular show in the SEC, but when it went national, I know this year, I worked in the Wisconsin market previously. I got some questions when Alabama was going to play Ohio State. They said, are those callers real? They started to tune into the show to hear what Alabama fans were saying, and they really questioned, are those real callers? Do you get that question, and can you address, are they real?
They are real. I get it all the time, Jen. And to me, you hear it's not often. I mean, sometimes, you can be driving around the country and put the show on, and it is crazy. And sometimes, if not a lot of the times, it's over the top. But I mean, we get real people calling in. During the Penn State controversy a couple of years ago, Joe Paterno, we had a lady that called in and admitted that she had been raped. Others have called in and said they had been abused. I mean, to me, that's what separates it. It's hard to develop that because you are now that we're on television, you're in a hurry. You don't have as much time, but anyone who doesn't think it's real has never listened to the show.
How has TV changed the show, if at all?
Well, it affects it because you do, whether you want to or not, you're cognizant of what's going out, what's being disseminated on television. And you just can't sit there slouched over making an airline reservation like I used to sometimes during calls. I mean, you're looking at a camera. And even though on the little-known secret in television, they always say, don't pay attention to the camera. You're in television. You have to pay attention to the camera.
Are there any regrets then with making it go national?
No, there are days that I sit around and really miss very much my time in Alabama, but it's also an opportunity. I mean, I'm not 25 years old where I may have multiple opportunities ahead. This was it for me. I took an opportunity to go to ESPN to work for the best company in our business, and I'm thrilled I did.
And finally, since WVUA 23 is based in Tuscaloosa, what are your predictions for Alabama this season?
I've really agonized over this for a long time, but as I landed early Monday morning, I finally decided that I would do what I've done now since 2008 and pick Alabama to win the SEC. So I haven't been right every year, but I've been pretty close most years.
Well, I think you just made Phyllis and Jim and a couple of those other callers very happy with that. We are so thankful for your time, and you really have changed the whole radio show into TV show element, and now it's kind of crazy, but kids are going to be saying they want to be the next Paul Finebaum.